Alright, so it has been a year since I've done an Evol deck update, and since then this deck has changed quite a bit, and I took it to my locals today for the first September tournament that I could go to, and I went 4-1 with it, and got really happy with that, because Laggia and Dolkka are still cards, believe it or not, and they still work really well. So here's what I used. For the monsters, 3 Westlo. Flip it and you get the special ones. You know, staple card of the deck, can't play it without it. 3 Najasho, gives this deck a lot more speed when you combo it with anything that contribute it. Triple Vulcano. Even though drawing this card in hand kind of sucks because he's as weak as it gets, the more you have, the better. Because if you do end up drawing one, at least you still have 2 more to use. And bringing him out means you can get Laggia and Dolkka in the same turn, or 2 Dolkkas, or whatever you need. 3 Diplo, because this card destroys back row, and since Heavy's gone, you need something else to do that. And when I can use a monster to destroy something instead of MST or something, this monster can be a lot more live, because I can destroy something and then overlay in Laggia and Dolkka instead of having to wait for MST or use an MST. So he puts in a lot of work, and he makes it hard on decks that use a lot of back row now. 2 Cerato, he's alright. I never really get a search effect off or even attack with him. He's just there in case I go first turn and get first turn Najasho. I can get both of these guys out instead of having to get a Diplo or a Vulcano and not be able to use its effect. 2 new additions to the deck, which make it really good, are 2 blasters. The ability to pitch my dead evil swords from my hand to destroy one, or banish 2 to get back a 2800 beater, is very effective. It just gives the deck a lot more flexibility, and keeps the deck quick and competitive. And the last 2 monsters are 2 Veilers. I just think they're better than Fiendish because you can pitch them first turn, but I mean, everyone has their own opinion. And that's the monster lineup. For the spells, 3 Diversity to search, pretty self-explanatory. 3 Evo-Force, tribute to special 1. The Najasho combo is really broken with that. It's like having 3 Rabbit. Duality came back with 3, so that helps the consistency of this deck even more. Being able to just go through your top 3 cards to find whatever you need, a Diversity or Warning or anything, just anything you need. 2 Enemy Controller, because you don't always have the Evo-Force, and you can still take level 4 monsters and overlay with them into some generic cards or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just a good card in general to get rid of Najasho or help save a monster by switching something to defense. 2 Lance. So I don't have to burn off my Laggia when he's summoned in case they Compulsory or Bottomless or whatever. I can save him with just Lance instead of having to use his Judgment effect. 2 Space Typhoons for, you know, when Decree comes around, or if I need to get rid of something and can't get a Diplo out. These are good. Book of Moon, it's kind of helpful. It's a combo piece. I side it out a lot. It's not really necessary. 1 Dark Hole in case stuff goes really the wrong direction. For the traps, really low trap lineup. 1 Compulse, 1 Bottomless, 1 Warning, 2 Call the Haunteds. These are easy side targets when you need to side out for something, but also, since Reborn's gone, getting anything back from the graveyard is great. Also, with Avarice gone, I can't recycle anything anymore, so having 2 Call lets me at least get back my dinosaurs, so I can overlay into something useful. Alright, for the extra deck, 1 Leviair. You run Blaster now, so you banish constantly, and being able to go into Leviair and get something back can help you in sometimes. 1 Lion Emperor. This card's really good because it helps you recycle your actual Evil tiles. You can overlay into 2 Westlos, and then if you have 1 in grave, if you have any fire monster in grave, you can detach 1 from him and pick the detached material back up to your hand and then set the same Westlo, because it doesn't say you can't set. Cowboy, just for the 800 burn. And if I ever really actually need to get over something big, I can use them, but it's mostly for the 800 burn to win. Dweller for water, pretty self-explanatory. Maestroke, just a good generic. Steelswarm Roach for them dragons. Zenmaister, he's just part of a combo piece. If you ever need to make room in this extra deck for anything, get rid of the Zenmaister, because I did not use it at all today in any of my games. Blackship for those stubborn things that you just can't destroy. Pappy, combo piece, and it can help go for a game or see what your opponent has set. It's not too important. You could get rid of it if you needed to. 2 Dolkka with my Agumon. It's Dolkka. What can I say? It's like the best card in the deck. It's with all the monster effects running around. It's really good. It's not too much to go in there. 2 Laggia. Being one of the few decks that actually has a judgment left, a solemn judgment. It just makes it really difficult to get around, and the fact that I can consistently go into judgment or Dolkka, it makes the deck really competitive. 1 Utopia because it's Utopia, and since Shockmaster gone, Disigma, for some reason, I don't know, there's no other really good level 4/3 overlays. He can get around some big stuff, but I never really used them today at all. That's the extra deck. Side deck geared toward locals, of course. 2 Puppet Plant, never used it. Probably going to get rid of it because there's no more Sams, go figure. And heroes are gone, so. 2 Fossil Dyna, never went into it. Could go into it because you can set it and it just helps. Sadly, only 1 Emptiness. Really want to pick up a second one, but just haven't gotten around to it, or haven't even found one in my locals that anyone's willing to get rid of. So when I find a second one, I'm probably going to take out one of the Puppet Plants, put a second one in. 2 Huge Revolution is over. This card does work. Went against Fire Kings today, and he Dark Hold, so I flipped 1 Huge Revolution, and then 2 turns later, I flipped the other one on his Needle Ceiling to get rid of my cards. And, yeah, I won that one with a 2-0. No offense, Pizza. But Huge Revolution is great, because I don't run Stardust, so what's the point in using Starlight Road? Not to mention, had I gone against one of the many Blackwing decks there, Huge Revolution's good for Icarus Attack and Delta Crow and all that other crap that they use. Can't stand it. Mind Crush. Anything that adds to hand, Mind Crush is good. Gadgets, Blackwings, all that other stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. Shadow Mirror for the Dark Worlds. It's Shadow Mirror. I hate Dark Worlds. And then Iron Wall. Iron Wall did a lot of work, especially against the 2 Dragon decks I played today. If you successfully get Iron Wall off and protect it, they lose. There's just nothing they can do to it. They can't summon anything. They can do like Debris Dragon, and that's about it. But they just lose to Iron Wall so bad, and when I have Laggia to protect it, it's ridiculous. They can't do anything. The only thing I lost to today was dragons. I beat 1 dragon deck, and then I lost 1, took it to round 3. And I couldn't get the Imperial Iron Wall quick enough. That was it. I mean, couldn't do much to it. But that's the Evol deck for September 1st. And since this was my first tournament in like 2 months, because I hated the format, I went 4-1 and did really good with it. So I'm happy with it. Remember to like, comment, rate, subscribe, all that other stuff. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think I should change or keep or whatever. Put up to 3 or take down to 2. All right, thanks.